Hello and welcome to today's video. So if you watched the previous one, this is AMC325, serial number 1247, that's in for repair. And yeah, it's definitely seen better days. Somehow there's been an impact hard enough here to shift the entire heatsink assembly over the whole way to where it messed up that the other bracket there. This bracket fell off. I'll have to fix that, but I think we can bend that back. That's not too bad. It looks like that impact also bent these connectors over, bent that one, and the whole assembly is like crooked. See this bend? How it kicks up over on this side? That's not right. So it's definitely seen better days. In addition, this sticker fell off when I was removing the cover, which was good because I probably would not have noticed that the ferrite core is cracked. See that? Let me see if I can get it to focus here. Here you go. See how this is not attached anymore? It's not one solid piece. See that? Yeah, so there's a crack right through there. That's probably not good. It did power up, but I'm wondering if this is what's causing another issue that I noticed. So over on the contactor here, it's melted. Like you can see, this plastic in here has melted out. So this has been really, really, really hot. So this phase looks like it's okay, but these two definitely look like they've been really hot. This is also, like this clip is supposed to be over here. So I don't know, maybe the impact hit this so hard that it broke something inside. The other thing is it's been so hot that now it could be the fuse that got really hot because this is melted. Like it's actually unsoldered. It is blown, so I've got my meter here. You can see continuity check, but the fuse is definitely dead, like it's popped. Now I don't know, it's one of those chicken for the eggs things, so I don't know if this got so hot that it died, that it opened, but it transferred heat up here and caused it to melt the contactor, or if the contactor got so hot that it transferred heat down here and caused the fuse, because it is definitely this side of the fuse, it looks like it got much hotter than the other side, right? I mean, it got hot enough that it actually flowed solder. So, yeah, so that leads me back to this. This is the main power supply. It takes the high voltage pack battery, generates a bunch of isolated supplies, and one of the supplies is the 18 volts that holds the contactor in. So if this is running a little low, maybe it didn't have enough power to hold the contactor in, which caused the contacts to not quite make a good enough connection, cause them to overheat, which then causes the fuse to die. I checked all of the bridges. All the three-phase bridges look fine. Like I don't see anything in them that's bad. Like I can diode check the whole thing. It's kind of hard to do with the. You can kind of cram this in here like that. And we can check the. I gotta go the other way. We just kind of cram the meter lead in like that, and then we can check each phase. But none of them are shorted. So All of them around 0.2 volt, 3.32 volts. So those looked good, and I checked the other side too. Like the other one's a little harder to get on because you have to go inside here to the bus bar that goes up that way. But so I think all that's wrong is we've popped our main fuse. We might have a bad, well, the contactor needs to be replaced because it's melted. Replace the fuse. I don't know if I have another power supply board. Probably don't, but I probably have one that's bad. Like, I don't know if I have a working one, but I probably do have one that's bad. But I think we should be able to swap the transformer between the two, and I think that might actually get it back up and running. Like, I think we put a new transformer in, new contactor, new fuse, and yeah, I think that's what we're. I think that's the plan right now. So as you can see, we're kind of mid disassembly here. I pulled the heatsink assembly off so I could get to the back side here. Oh, let me turn on the light. There we go. So I get to the back side here, and that gives me access to the contactor side here. The fuse is on this side, so you gotta take the heatsink off to get to the bolts that hold the fuse on. So I got that out, and then that gives you access to all the little. Once that's off, you can't. This is in the way, so you gotta pull this part off here to get enough clearance so you can get it out, because this bar is in the way of the screws to get to all the little wires here. These go to the coil and to detect when the contactor is actually closed. But I got that all off, straightened, well, as best as I could. I straightened up the bus bars. It's not too bad. And the one back here as well. It's fairly straight, so I could get that, and then I straightened all of these out so I could pull this assembly off to get access to everything. So I got to come out at an angle because I got to get past this. This particular one is just in the way. We got it off. You can definitely see that. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's melted. Now this clip wasn't in all the way, and I'm wondering if that was causing it to sit sideways, because these little clips are what hold the. This is actually kind of neat. I did take it apart, put it back on. Oh, I should, before I show you that, this is the fuse. Remember I said it unsoldered itself? Yeah, check this out. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, but it literally unsoldered the end. Look, there's sand in there. But it's yeah, so it got hot enough to unsolder the end cap, which is impressive. But there's your high voltage anti-arcing sand inside there, and I can't really tell inside whether or not the fuse is intact itself. Like maybe the cap just came off, but you know, it's dead. Anyways, we got a new contactor from another drive that's volunteering its contactor, and then we have a brand new fuse here, so you should be able to drop that in, drop in the fuse, and I think it'll fire right up. Oh, I did fix so little clips, so I was able to just pop the clips off and take a cap, the ferrite core from another drive. So the same drive that's volunteering that contactor also volunteered the top half of the transformer. It is air gapped. Like there are these little tiny shims, mica shims in there. So I made sure to keep those at the same location. So everything's good. You can kind of see through there so it's got an air gap on the core. which is kind of typical for a flyback when they're doing that high voltage like that. High voltage down to a low voltage. So swap that out, and don't have to unsolder the transformer, so that should be good. And I did want to show, this is kind of neat. Let's see if we can do it one-handed here. So these kind of pop off. So like I said, the one side was unpopped. If you go back and watch the other video. Isn't this cool? So this is a high power contactor. So this is just the actual contactor assembly itself that makes the connection. Unfortunately, that's the part that's bad. Otherwise, we could just swap the two out, but I had to pull the whole thing out anyway because you had to get to everything else. But you want a different coil voltage? No problem, just swap it out. But I mean, check out the laminations on this thing. Like it's pretty neat. They got some silicon steel laminations in there for the core. That just slides in so they can have different voltages, and then that just pops right on top of there. Get everything lined up, and it just goes together. And then you just clip those little. It's got a spring in there. So yeah, you just clip those. These clip back on and locks it in. Kind of neat. Anyways, yeah. Fuse, seen better days. Contactor, seen better days. So you should be able to swap that out. And hopefully next video it's somewhat back together. And we'll clean all this off, put the heatsink back, put some more heatsink compound, get the heatsink back on, get this all back together. And yeah, hopefully fires right up. I don't suspect anything else is wrong. But yeah, we'll see. So I've reassembled the motor controller here. We've got a, it's not so much a new contactor, it's just a contactor from another drive. We do have a brand new fuse, and then of course in the last video we replaced the ferrite core on the transformer. We're all wired back up, and we're ready to, everything's hooked back up and ready to test. Let's go ahead, and I've already got it, voltages pre-charged, so we're going to turn it on, put it in gear, give it a little bit of throttle, nice and smooth. Yep. We'll regen to a stop, very carefully because we don't have very much bleed on this. Just these two little resistors right there. Well, they are like, I don't know, might be 1 watt resistors. Okay, we'll try reverse. Nice and smooth. And regen to stop. So I'd say that is successful. So it's all repaired. So I just got to put it back together. It's not bolted to the heatsink. It's just sitting on top of it, just to limit the amount of heatsink compound that gets spread around on the workbench. But I've got a tube of it. We'll put that back together and yeah, get it all back up and running. But yeah, it looked like, so yeah, I still don't know what caused it. Either that got cracked, which means we didn't have enough voltage for this, so we didn't pull in hard enough, so that caused it to overheat and it melted, caused the fuse to fail, or vice versa, the fuse failed, got really hot and melted the contactor. Maybe we just had an impact, maybe it was always cracked, I don't know. But yeah, it's back up and running. Just gotta put it all back together. It's all back together now. Kind of beat all of the sheet metal back into submission, and it's all, you know, all the connectors, everything's back on, and replaced everything. And this is the final test before shipping. So we'll turn it on here, put it in forward, give it some throttle. Nice. Oh, it's complaining that our battery is empty. Hold on. Let me turn up our... I forgot this has been reprogrammed for the higher voltage, right? So now it needs higher voltage. So now... There you go. So regen to a stop here. Well, we're trying to, but I'm not able to dissipate enough. Oh, actually, what I could cheat. Here, I'll do this. And then I can... Oh, you know what? Helps if I turn regen on. There you go. I was like, why is it not regenning down? There you go. So let me turn that back up. We'll go to the reverse. Get a little throttle. So it looks like we're working. Regen to a stop here. Yep. Good to go. I say it's fixed. So new fuse. Kind of a new contactor used from another drive, but you know, you can't buy them, so that's what we got. And yeah, some sheet metal work to kind of unbash the this whole side got caved in, and I fixed all of the heatsink assembly here with the fan cover and got these remounted on there properly. So both those are good now. So I think we're in good shape, ready to ship. Thanks for watching. Bye.